What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TCG Empire YouTube channel. Today we're going over Final Standings Friday, and if you're new here and you aren't sure what that is, this segment is where we take the deck of the week featured on Meta Monday and discuss how I feel the deck performed when it came to my initial testing. Now, the deck that we took a look at this past week was the Lost Box variant known as SableZard. This is the deck that pairs Radiant Charizard with Sableye from Lost Origins, and the point of the deck is to deal massive damage and set up multiple turns for prize cards. Now, the way that this deck works is by using Comfy and Colress in the early turns to fuel your Lost Zone, and also dealing early damage with Cramorant for no energy cost in order to set up things like Sableye and Charizard later into the game. Once you hit 10 in the Lost Zone, you're able to use Sableye's Lost Mine attack to place 12 damage counters anywhere on the board. And with most decks running things like Luminion or other low HP Pokemon at times, you're able to set up damage with Sableye to take multiple prizes in one turn, rather than just taking a few prizes across the turn-to-turn basis. Now, at the end of it, that's when Radiant Charizard comes in, and this card is great for the endgame. The energy cost is 5 energy to deal a massive 250 damage attack. However, the reason that this deck works so well is because of Charizard's ability. It states that for every prize card your opponent's taken, you're able to decrease the energy cost of the attack by 1. So this means that after your opponent has taken 4 prize cards, they can deal with Charizard having to be a 1 energy attacker that does 250 damage. And not to mention that this Charizard is a single prizer as well, which means that if your opponent does KO it, they don't win the game just yet. They still have 1 prize to deal with. Now, this Lost Zone variant is a ton of fun, and it has seen many placings and success within the meta. However, there's one critical card that actually deals with the deck pretty well, and that card is Espeon VMAX. Now, with Espeon VMAX and Lost City, it means that you're not able to use Sableye to place damage counters, and thus you have to swing with things like Cramorant and Charizard. But with Lost City, your opponent can actually place the Cramorants in the Lost Zone, and thus there's no attackers until the Charizard. But with Charizard only dealing 250 damage, it can't KO anything big without the damage manipulation from Sableye, so it becomes difficult. But overall, I really like the deck. I feel like when it comes down to it, it puts Lost Box as a whole in its own tier of really having to focus and pay attention. And with this variant especially, you can mess up damage and that can change the whole outcome of the game. But when you do place damage right, it becomes super satisfying to take multiple prizes within a single turn. This deck is a lot of fun. It does take a lot of time to learn and the proper sequencing is big, but I will say it is satisfying being able to say you took 4 to 6 prizes in a single turn, depending on how your math lines up. Now, again, I did say that Espeon VMAX does kind of shut this deck down, and that is only the case because with this deck it is based on being able to spread damage counters. There's no real other attackers besides the Charizard, which is late game, the Cramorant, which is early game, and Sableye, which is mid to late game. So in other Lost Box builds that are running things like Raikou V, Dragonite, as well as things like Kyogre, it has a lot better of a time, especially with Mirage Gate. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you did enjoy today's video, and I'll catch you guys in next week's Meta Monday.